Peace and respect to you all. Welcome to Demolished Doctrine, the beginning of the end of religions, or at least the beginning as far as I know it. I don't know someone else who's talking about the things that I'm talking about. Well, I'm bored and thought I'd do a show. And well, first I went to go and view anything else on YouTube that I thought was worth viewing, and I don't know, nothing up my alley. So thought I'd do a show instead. I invite you, if you catch this live, to hit the link in the top of the side chat. Come on in and challenge me. And I mean really challenge me. Not so much I get people that just want to make argumentation. Peace and respect, Midnight Sparkle, who does not recognize that name.
Sorry, you were going to screen share something.
Yeah, I will eventually. Not right this moment. How are you?
Oh, good. I just had a 3 hour and 16 minute stream. I took a break from it. Took a break, and I had some lunch. Sorry, dinner, and now I'm here.
All right, cool. On your channel?
Yes.
Now, why didn't I have an alert for that?
Because YouTube is fascist. I don't know.
Like, I know I'm subscribed to your... I'm going to have to double check that and make sure, but I would think that I'm subscribed to you. Is Midnight a serious challenge? Midnight can be quite serious. Peace and respect, Mac the Human. How are you, buddy? I miss you, bro.
Mac. Of course I'm a serious challenger. What do you think?
Yeah, I was saying before you came on that so many times people, and there's even people who are good at arguing, but they're not really, following any logic. They're just good at rhetoric. They're not actually challenging anything. And that's what I want. I want people to improve me. I want to become better at this. But, it's like playing mental chess. If you don't have someone that's better than you, you don't get better. So
Yep.
I want to get better. I think it's important. I mean, since
Though,
I think these things are
though,
true.
though, the saying "iron sharpens iron" doesn't imply that both iron or actually no, iron sharpens iron means that one iron is sharper than the other. Never mind. I was I was trying to say that iron sharpens iron. Iron implies that both irons are the same, but I'm like, well, no. If one iron sharpens the other, it's I don't know, man. Just
It's not a really accurate expression, but I think we know the gist of what it's trying to say.
yes.
It's not true that iron sharpens iron. Actually, you need something higher, harder than iron to sharpen a piece of iron. That's the truth of it. Oh, by the way, if you ever really want a super, super fine edge on a knife, use a glass bottle as the final strokes of sharpening. Oh
You want to know
yeah.
something? You want to know something interesting?
Hmm.
Well, of course you do. You know the old saying, "Jack of all trades, master of none."
Yeah, I've been called that.
Well, here's the interesting part. That that is a mis that is a that is an incomplete quote. The actual quote is "Jack of all trades, master of none, but better than a master of one."
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes, that last part gets removed. It doesn't
Huh.
get brought up, does it? Like,
I've
of
never
course, so
heard
so
that.
so so of course people get the impression of, well, it's better to be a master of one thing than of all things. No, you goddamn idiot! I'm not saying you. Just there's so many things. Like when people say, here's another thing that's always bothered me. Know your limits. Stay in your lane. Okay, but it's never know your limits and overcome them. It's always know your limits, stay in your lane, which means never improve. Okay, never improve, never go beyond your limits. Which
Yeah, that sounds like being sedentary.
Yeah,
And that's bad advice, actually.
yeah, but unfortunately, because because other things, because one person forgets the quote, it gets forgets the full thing, it gets spread around, then people repeat it, and then people actually believe it, and then you have some guy like me who actually finds out that the quote was actually longer than that, it means something else, and then people like, oh, they'll either be like, oh, cool, I didn't know that, or they're like, well, fuck you, Midnight, you're an asshole, and all that.
So
Okay,
I
cool.
want to address Jerry Doyle, who wrote in the side chat. Who are you guys? Theists? Midnight is not a theist as far as I know, but I am a theist. And I believe that these ancient religious stories are talking about the end of superstitious thinking and the end of religions, and that's the actual topic of the religion, even though the practitioners don't seem to realize that. And and because of that, I mean to encourage people and myself give good argumentation for the demolishing of doctrine. Thus, the name of the channel, and that is to say that I believe that church traditions cause people to think poorly about the religious stories. And that's what this channel is about. Okay, so serious interlocutor, what do you got for me today?
Well, what I have for you today is, I don't know. Actually, I just came in to see how you were doing. I know the title is to challenge your beliefs on the Bible or anything.
So
Uh,
so you actually don't have anything? You're just
Sorry.
being nice? You don't have anything to challenge me with, you're just being nice?
I mean, I could pick something.
Go ahead.
Uh,
Too slow. Just kidding.
you know what? I wouldn't have fault you for, for actually doing that, considering you
Well,
have a
I got
topic that you're
nobody
sticking
else here
to.
right now. Come on, man.
Well,
And
that's
I love
true,
you.
but you have a topic that you're sticking to, right? I'm sure you have something planned. You worked all day. You're like,
Yes,
you know
I
what?
do.
I'm gonna do a stream today, and I have something planned. Yeah, I hope midnight doesn't come in and ruin it.
You're not ruining
I
anything.
know it was a
Really,
joke. Sorry, go
really.
ahead.
Okay, so tell me what you think of this. I, so here we are in I mean the translation's not all that terribly important. They're all basically the same, except for on some finer points. But I and the highlighted words, everlasting Father, right? So I put those in the search engine. It came up several times. Here's some of the entries. Genesis 49:26, the blessings of thy father prevailed by the blessings of the progenitors under the utmost bound of the everlasting hills. They shall be on the head of Joseph and on the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren, i.e., since we're talking Old Testament, Mashiach, the one who's separate from his brethren. And thou shalt anoint them, and thou didst anoint their father. They may minister unto me in the priest's office, for their anointing shall surely be an everlasting priesthood throughout their generations. So, this everlasting priesthood, of course, is talking about a permanent priest, not a temporary one. Doubtless thou, our father, though Abraham be ignorant of us, and Israel acknowledge us not, thou, O Lord, our Father, our Redeemer, thy name is from everlasting. What I'm doing here, I'm just showing you that when it talks about an everlasting personage, it's talking about somebody called the Father. Arguments?
So when it says everlasting life, they're talking about the Father being everlasting life, or
Having
giving.
it and sharing it, yeah.
Okay.
And
So
then,
I
go ahead.
Well, no, so I guess what Jesus says, I am the light, the way, and the truth. No other person comes to the Father through me. Believe in me and get everlasting life. I forget the quote or the
No,
the
that was
verse,
good
but
enough. No, don't worry about the verse. The quote was decent.
Hmm.
Not worried about where it's located as long as it's in the same book. As long well, and I do hear people say things like, "Who was it? I think it was Dan on Burning Bushes." Remarked, "The Lord helps those who help themselves." It was somebody like Dan, and I said, "Dude, that's not in the Bible." No, I remember it was Mikey. Mikey said that. That's who it was. It wasn't Dan. Oh well, they remind me of each other.
Hmm. Well,
The new guy, Mikey.
I've heard the whole God helps those who helps themselves throughout my life from my mom. Like
Sure.
she's still very religious, although she doesn't really go to church that much, which is fine. Whatever. You really don't need to you don't need to go to church to to be close to God, but that's another conversation. Well, yeah, I've always heard that. Like God helps those who help themselves.
I mean,
Which,
I'm not saying
yes,
it's a bad saying. It's just not in the
no,
Bible.
I know it's not a bad saying, and there is some truth to that. Like the only way to get help, to get help from others is to help yourself, or to get help from the universe, I guess.
Okay,
Like, I don't know.
so Midnight,
It's
what witty insult do you have for Flow State because he wants to have a witty insult contest with you?
I may ruin everything, but at least I do it with style, unlike you, Mr. Flow
There
State.
you go. There you go. That was pretty good. That was
I don't
pretty
know.
good. Okay.
I just freestyled it.
Yeah, it was not bad. Not bad. Okay, so here's the part. I pointed all that out just to point out that the Bible is very consistent with itself on topic. If you just do a couple keywords and hit search, that it's definitely talking about some certain person here called the Father, right? Now check this out. You ever read this one before? Isaiah 9:6?
Isaiah 9:6. Let me see. For
See
unto
if this
us,
sounds
hold on,
familiar. Oh, go ahead. No, please
I will
do.
read it.
Sorry, I spoke over. Start again.
Okay. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
Wow, with
I was trying
zest,
to add
with
a little
zeal.
flair. Yeah, I
That
was
was
trying to add a
nice.
little flair. I don't know if it came out.
That was like professional style reading, man. That was awesome. Okay, so let's break the. In fact, you know what? Midnight. How about if you break this down for me? Go ahead.
I putting me on the spot here. Even
No, no,
I
no,
don't know
no.
any.
It's not tough. Just pick a sentence portion, just part of a sentence that's a full idea, and talk about what you think it means.
Well, from my own biases, it seems to be talking about Jesus Christ, and also and also connecting it back to the Father, saying that Jesus Christ and the Father are are the same being. Just that maybe I'm reading too much into it,
No,
because it
no,
does
that's
say,
possible.
it does say, "For unto us a child is like." See, this verse is interesting, but I feel like I'm missing context. See, the
Yeah,
almighty context. You know what I mean?
almighty context. You want me to let me do that? Let's do some wraparound verses. Okay, here it is. Same thing. So here's the wraparound verses. For every battle of the warrior with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but shall be with burning fuel of fire. And the following verse of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth, even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. So there you go. So that Isaiah 9:6, 9:7 are continuous in context and idea. I don't think you need 9:7 really. And all of this is talking about some kind of great war, and the end of oppression and things like that. Okay. All right. So For unto us a child is born. Now, if you were a Christian, just put on your Christian hat. I know you're not one, but you know a lot about it. A child is born. Is the Father in heaven a child who is born, according to Christians?
Is the Father in heaven? I would say Jesus is the child who was born,
Right.
not the
Unto
Father
us,
himself.
that's correct. Unto us a son is given, which is pretty much the same thing twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And the government shall, that's future tense, be upon his shoulder. What do you think that means?
Well, if I'm putting on my Christian hat, I would say the government will be under. Well, no, it will be up on his shoulder. Like he will be the rock that holds the government together, or like you know what I mean. They're on his shoulder, so he needs to have
Right.
strong shoulders in order to hold on to the government. Like you know what I'm trying to say, right? He's kind of like Atlas, holding up the world with his arms.
I think
You
you get
know,
it. Yeah. A
yeah,
singular holding it up by himself. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, this could have been written, and the yoke of government will be shared between him and his father. It could have been written that way, but it's not. Right?
Yeah.
A yoke being something that goes between oxen to pull, some implement or tool or what have you, or
Yeah.
cart. Yeah, okay. And his name, again, singular, definite. So that this is identifying a singular male, his, right? Not their or anything like that. Name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, and some renderings have that as a singular term, Wonderful Counselor, which fair enough, and I don't really care where the comma goes. The Mighty God. Wait, he's called the God. Okay. And last there, the Prince of Peace. Now, I think the Prince of Peace really nails it down who they're talking about because it uses the word prince, right? Instead of king.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But
So I think you
also,
were right about everything you said then.
well, that's a relief.
No, I
But
thought that was
but
a good recollection of Christian doctrine.
I mean, unfortunately, I listen to this stuff. I listen to this stuff more than Waldhart does.
Yeah, kind of hard to avoid in our society unless both of your parents were atheistic and just didn't talk about this stuff and didn't have any theistic friends. Okay, and here's the clincher. Here's the point of me bringing up all of that. The next to the last sentence fragment, that he shall be called the everlasting Father.
I mean, if we're still talking about Jesus, which he's the son, then where he would be a prince, God would be the king.
Right?
So he's the everlasting father, but he's also the prince. So he's the kingly prince.
How about this? He has a change in position, and he will be called the everlasting Father as well as the Prince of Peace. How about that? How about there's a change?
Right, but that would imply Jesus had a kid. Unless we're talking about
Yes,
father
it
in the sense
does.
that
It does. But that's not weird because the Father had a son who people here now call Jesus.
right, but shouldn't
And he
Jesus have a son also to be the everlasting father?
he
Unless
would.
unless 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 he's the father of all humanity, in which case
No, it doesn't
I
claim that. It doesn't
well, no,
claim
it
that. I
doesn't
mean,
claim it,
it's
obviously.
good plausible experimentation, but it's nowhere in the text. But it does say that the Father is the father of all children on the earth. It never says Jesus is the father of all the children on the earth. It never says that. So it does address the thought, but it doesn't say Jesus. It says the Father in heaven is, which is why he's called the Father.
Hmm. What is your
So,
point? What is your point with all of this?
what is your
I
point,
know.
Richard?
Well, no,
God.
I didn't mean it to come off like that. I know people would say, "What is your point?" to be annoyed.
I love you. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Okay, so here's my point. Christians tend to miss that here it's obviously talking about Jesus and Jesus changing, right? And that Jesus will be called in the future the everlasting Father. Whereas through the rest of the Bible, the everlasting Father means the one in heaven already. So what this is saying is Jesus in heaven takes the same position as his Father now holds.
So
That makes
Jesus
sense?
ascends the throne, basically.
Well, I think this works really well with multiple earth, multiple heaven theory, because he wouldn't be dethroning the Father, but he would be having his own heaven and be the Father of that situation. Whereas the existing Father already has his own heaven and he's the Father of that situation. What you think?
I mean, I don't know. It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibilities that God is like, you know what, dude? I've been doing this for like 13 billion years. I'm done. You can take over for a bit. I'll be back. It's
Well,
not
it
out of the
doesn't mention a
realms.
retirement plan. I mean,
Well,
okay. It's not a horrible idea. It's plausible, but it's never mentioned.
I mean, it's never, as far as I know, it's never mentioned that there will be a new heavens that Jesus can rule over, or
What's
the
that?
other
It's
Jesus
never
is.
mentioned. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's
Like I
directly
said,
mentioned.
well, like I said, I don't read. I haven't read the Bible from front to back or at all.
It's okay. You
So
don't have to. I read it for you. So you want me to look up the part where it says new heaven and new earth? It's in a few different places.
okay.
So let's see. Let's do it like we'll use 3 keywords: new heaven, earth. Okay, so let's see. Revelation 21:1 is the most concise and complete quote. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. You should notice that this heaven right here, lowercase, I believe, in my understanding, is properly lowercase, meaning sky, and that it's talking about the sky and the planet are going to be uninhabitable, no more, passed away. And why? Because there will be no more sea. That's why. After all, without bodies of water on this planet would soon become a very, very dry, uninhabitable place. And there would be no clouds. And it says other places, and there was no clouds, and it didn't rain for 3.5 years of their testimony. And it says stuff like that all over the place,
So
too.
this passage just says, the earth, the old earth will be destroyed, and the new earth
Right.
will come forth. Okay, but
Yes.
that's singular. Like you
Yes.
said it's a plural. There'll be
Wait. Do we already have an Earth?
yes, we already have an earth. That this will be
Okay. If
considered
there was a
old
new
earth.
one, if there was a new one, wouldn't that be a second one, making it plural? Let's look up the word new.
I don't think Richard. If you we already have an earth. Okay, the entire planet gets the entire planet. Well, it'll still be around, but the entire planet just gets destroyed. All all organisms die out, and it dries up.
Right.
All right, the only only the earth is left in the sense only like the whatever, you get my point.
Yes.
Uh, that that would still be.
Did you just lose connection, or are you just
No,
waiting to collect
I
yourself?
yeah, it's trying to. Like we have the Earth the way it is now. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it would be when I think of a new when I think of a new Earth in plural, I think about an exact duplicate. There was there was a movie that came out a couple of years ago that I never got a chance to watch, and I could actually fight around with the idea about another Earth, the Earth just appearing out of nowhere, in
Yeah.
just next to the Earth, like you could travel between them taking a train or something. I forget. I haven't really watched it before, but
However, they
that's
got back and forth.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I think. That's what I think when I when I think about when I think about that. Like when I think
Okay.
about how there are multiple Earths. Right
Well, that
now,
works just fine.
obviously,
You know.
well, yeah, but when we're talking about the old Earth will be destroyed and a new Earth will come forth. I imagine that okay, all life on this planet gets destroyed, all water dries up, and then and then over time, those resources get replenished. Water comes back to the planet through comets or whatever, and it's essentially it's a new Earth. The Earth is still there, right? But it's a new Earth in the sense that water came back to the planet and organisms came back. Now, if you're talking about new Earth in the sense that the planet got destroyed, completely, it got destroyed completely, and then and then over time, the force of gravity just rebuilds the Earth little by little. I don't know, like
That sounded
I
like a pause, so I'm waiting.
no, that's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. So let's see if it's renewal, which is something you suggested is logically plausible, and you're correct, or if it means absolutely new. So here's how it's used in the Bible in all cases of usage. Okay, recently made, fresh, recent, unused, unworn, as respects of substance of a new kind, unprecedented, novel, uncommon, and unheard of. And the strict definition itself, new, especially in freshness. We could look at Greek 3501, is properly so with respect to age, as in just got created, that kind of new. It just got made. So this cannot mean restored.
Okay, but if the entire planet is like destroyed, whereas it's how do I explain this? You ever watched a movie? You ever watched a movie where you know what? I use Star Trek. In Star Trek. Sorry, no, Star Wars. My bad. In Star Wars, the planet. What the hell is that planet's name? It got destroyed by the Death Star.
Okay.
Alderaan. Yeah, the Alderaan. Alderaan was destroyed. Right. It was completely destroyed. There was nothing left. Okay. Now I'm using this as an example for the new Earth. Okay, the old Earth is gone, it's destroyed, it's whatever. It's just let's just say it's disintegrated. Okay, the new Earth would be as you say new, but there would still be only one because the old one got destroyed. So
Fair enough.
it wouldn't be plural. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I meant plural over time, and you meant plural in the same moment.
I mean, if the Earth, if the Earth gets destroyed like 400 times and it gets replaced 400 times, I see your point. But but there will still be one. It just got destroyed and rebuilt 400 times.
Yep. There's still always just one, though. You are correct. Absolutely. Okay. I wanted to say hi to people in the side chat there. Okay, so all right, so bearing all that in mind, let's see, which one was I using? I was using this one. Okay, cool. I should close that other one. It's just confusing me. All right, so if I go back, yeah. So there's new. Of course, it's a Greek word. It's written in Greek about a religion that was not their own. It's about early Christianity, and ultimately the way that a person should judge these things for context is in the context of the people of the time, which would have been early Christians, which is a whole bunch of research. Trust me, it's a lot of work to figure out what the early Christians thought. And who was it that asked? Let me address this real quick. Jerry Doyle asked, "Are you a Calvinist or Arminian?" Well, how do you say neither and both at the same time? B'nai Thoroth. I don't know. I believe that every religion has nothing but truth in it. However, practitioners are welcome to, and actually encouraged, to think whatever their church thinks. So by whatever tradition, which the traditions say things and assert things that are evidently wrong in the religious stories that they're referring to, and cannot be. And that's what I'm pointing out here today, is that Christians don't recognize that Jesus becomes the everlasting Father, even though the text directly says so. In just one short verse, it says that. In fact, it even goes so far as to necessitate, not just hint at, but it absolutely says that there must be, in just this one verse right here, there must be multiple earths. Because there's nothing about the Father being dethroned, but there is something about Jesus becoming the everlasting Father. So that would mean there were two of them simultaneously.
But I feel like, sorry, I shouldn't use feel like, because I I I think that either way is adding something that's not there, like, because it doesn't really release all
Oh,
things.
cool. What am I adding that's not there?
The fact that there will be multiple Earths. I mean, I'm probably adding the fact
Oh,
that there's the stepping down from the throne, which I admit, you know what I mean. But I don't know. I just don't see the multiple Earths angle or interpretation. I guess based on that.
where was that?
Also, what did you mean?
Wrong.
Considering
Wrong.
lag, I think you beat midnight.
Yep.
I. Well, what did you mean by that?
She wrote the word Alderon.
Oh, fair enough.
And I think, considering lag, that she was suffering, and that it came like 1 second after you said it, I think she actually beat you in time. Not that I think that guided your answer, because you had given the answer before that popped up. What were the keywords? I need to look up remember those certain keywords. Visible. This is going to sound funny. Earth. I think it's Earths. Nope. Bad keywords. With these invisible things God so created. I created. Dang, what were the keywords there? Having trouble with keywords. I'm pretty sure it's
Keywords don't exist.
yeah, they do. In our minds, they do. Romans. Oh my gosh, it's been too long. I'm bad at remembering numbers. Romans 10, maybe. No. Oh, great. It doesn't do that. You go too fast. I'll just go through all of Romans. Fine. Hold on a second. Maybe that was it. Nope.
Oh, Dean, are you still at work? Because you can join. You can join. I know this is Richard's stream, but he did pin the link.
Yeah, certainly. Could have sworn it was in Hebrews. Dang, I cannot remember where that's located. Crap. With these invisible things, God so created the worlds. Oh, it wasn't earths, it was worlds. It was created worlds. That's what it was. That's what I got wrong. Invisible WRLDS. Dang. That was me smacking the microphone. There it is.
Good, it
Hath
deserves
in
it.
these last days, Hebrews 1:2. I don't know how I missed it. Hath in these last days spoken to us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds. There you have, plural, worlds. Hebrews 11:3 says it again. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God, so that things which were seen were not made of things which do appear. There's the idea of invisible I was trying to, but I used the wrong words. So it didn't find it. There you go. Hebrews 1:2 and 11:3.
I mean, couldn't those worlds just be the planets that exist in the universe?
Oh, okay. Let's find out. First, we'll look up the word being used here and see what it means. The worlds. Okay. Aeon, I already know what that means. And G104, i.e., a continued duration. So the durable thing. Every time when according to the circumstances something is or ought to be done again. So it's the idea of repetition of a thing. Okay. A duration of a thing that repeats. There you go. Always and ever. Earnestly. And oops, too far.
What word were you looking at?
A perpetuity of time, the worlds, the universe, a period of time and age. So can it mean planets? It could. It could mean planets.
I mean, what else could worlds be? Like, yeah. We call our own planet world, but we also use the word to describe other worlds. You know?
Oh, I should be looking at the Greek word. Sorry. Greek word for planet. See if it's different than the word. Oh, the planets were called wanderers. That's right. They called them wandering stars or wanderers. So the Greek word for planet is wanderer, and that's not the same word we just looked at at all. Yes?
Well, I didn't see what word you looked at before wanderer.
It was aeon.
So what did aeon mean?
It means the length of time of a steadiness or a place or this earth. So earth, plural earths. And then this word is in planet. This is not the same. This does not read aeon. Right? See that?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's two different words. See, this is aeon. Looks like this. Not the same word at all. And they have a word for planet. They called them wandering stars or wanderers. So this doesn't read wanderers. So it doesn't mean planets. Good?
Yep.
Okie dokie. First time I've ever looked that up. You can't. Ooh. What happened? We lost a midnight. There's no such thing as midnight anymore. All right. Somebody going to have to hit that link. So I'm not just going to sit here and I am not good at just, making speeches. Never have been, don't want to be. Peace and respect. Namaste. Dominic. I'm going to say that probably wrong. Tersini. It looks Italian. Dominic Tersini. Okay, so I'll review the overall point of everything I just looked at. Oh, peace and respect. Von Erich. Where's your faith? It's in your head. That's where your faith is. In fact, all positions of faith, I think, are in people's heads. Yeah, you bring up a good point, Stephanie. It could be dimensions. Now, that's unnecessarily complex. We don't need other dimensions to have other worlds. And by world, I mean a planet with dirt on it where people could live, where human beings could live. That's what I mean by Earth. And in fact, the reason that the word Earth meaning the planet and the word Earth meaning soil are spelled precisely the same is because it means the same thing. So, and Earth is a place where there's dirt, the location of the dirt, if you will. Could be different dimensions and it could be different ages. Yes, it could. But it's the age of the time of man on the earth, which is why it got translated into earths. So in context, it wouldn't mean just an age. Besides the fact that the word literally can mean age, that's because it's a Greek word and it's not an early Christian word. When you look into those ideas in the Hebrew and Aramaic, which you'd expect early Christians to be using, it doesn't translate that way at all. It means the place that we're living. Okay. So let me round all that up again just one more time for anybody who might have missed it, because we had a couple people show up in the middle of that. Okay. So, seems to me, we'll go back all the way back to the beginning of the conversation, the way back machine. Oh my gosh, I did so much of this. Didn't realize how many times I had switched screens. Oh, let's just do it this way. We'll just do the whole search over again. Everlasting Father. Okay. All right. So to recap, Father, it's everlasting, making promises, everlasting priesthood, Father everlasting, the Redeemer, the giver of eternal life, having the children and lands and wives and all that stuff, the one who made the Son, the Father, everlasting Father. And everybody knows it anyway. Anytime you said to a Christian, who's the everlasting Father, everybody knows. They would say the Father in heaven. They would say God in heaven, something like this. They would not say Jesus Christ. However, Isaiah 9:6 clearly states a list of things that they will call Jesus. How do I know it's Jesus? Because right here, the Prince of Peace, not the King of Heaven, the Prince of Peace. But he will be called, as in shall, meaning future tense, as in will be in the future called. And you can tell because he doesn't have governance over the world right now, right? But the government shall be. So that's future tense upon his shoulder. And his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God. Identifying him solidly, the Prince of Peace. What is one of the things he will be called? The Everlasting Father. There you go. Does that mean that he supplants and takes the place of the Father? Nothing in the text about that. But since it says there'll be a new heaven and a new earth, there's no reason to argue with it that Jesus just gets his own heaven. In fact, the people under Jesus get their own heaven and would not be in the same heaven as unrelated folks, perhaps from another planet. They just would be in their own, which makes sense, when you think about it. Like, why should we have to share our heaven with some other humans from some other place that we've never been? Christians get really upset when I say stuff like this. But then when I ask them things like, who could stop your God from doing it that way? Well, they have to answer, nobody could stop it. Okay, well, what's the text say about itself? It says multiple earths. It says Jesus assumes the same job in his heaven, in the new heaven, the new Jerusalem, as his Father has in his heaven, and thereby becomes also the everlasting Father, but not supplanting. Doesn't say anything about that. Thoughts in the live chat? Give me your thoughts. Somebody has to come in, or I kill this show. Give me something, guys, because I can't do this all by myself. 'Cause I need you. think we're done. It says there's 6 people watching. Ooh, I threatened to shut down and 2 people left. It says there's 6 people watching. Been going for more than 45 minutes. Maybe this will be just one of those ones where we keep it short. What say ye? Well, since you say nothing, I'm going to take that as agreeing with me. Peace and respect to you all. Whether you, we have a brand new person, David Waring. We are probably not brand new because you can type. Back on chat, but I have to sleep and get up for work. Well, David, do sleep well, and I wish you peace and respect toward you and from you in your life. I want you all to know that I truly do look forward to the day that we're all great friends. And by that, I mean eternally in our heaven, which atheist, agnostic, antitheist, pantheist, Christian, Hindi, Native American, Zuni, whatever flavor you might have grown up with or chose, I believe that we are going to have a very long time to get to know each other and be great friends. And I look forward to that day. And until next stream, please do what computers like and algorithms and stuff like that. You know what to do. That like button. I can't prove this because I'm not a computer savvy person, but I hear that if you hit the share button and then just kill it, it registers to the algorithm as a share, even though you didn't actually share it. So you don't have to put my stuff on your channel, on your Facebook and stuff like that. You don't have to actually do that. But YouTube apparently would appreciate it if you faked them out. So thank you all very much for adding to my experience, especially Midnight, who had the opportunity to come on and throw some thoughts out there. By the way, I think anyone who is just asked open-ended, non-leading questions about the text one section at a time, especially if they didn't know they were talking about the Bible, they end up coming to the same conclusions that I have been shown because they just logically follow. All right, guys. Peace.